Hello, Nauticus. Sorry for being away for so long. I wanted to kind of quickly do a video, address a lot of the questions you guys have been having. Sitting at the front of our new office, a lot of you guys have seen it on the Medium blogs as well. And just letting you see what it looks like as well. You saw the photos. But yeah, last few months, exciting journey. So many things happened. Today's purpose is really to address a lot of the questions, and it's crazy how much you've gone. A lot of really good suggestions and questions, to be honest, and I will address them one by one with the time we have. And yeah, so keep it relaxed, keep it chilled, and if anybody wants a cup, let me know. So first things first. Great. So question from no name. Now just properly, this is legitimate. Moderators forwarded things to us, and then I look over it. The ones that are repetitively questioned by different people, we want to address it. So, well, that's good. But as some people have mentioned before, we're giving away free trading tokens at least 1 month on the platform. It won't be any use for NTS for that. We're in a bloodbath right now, bloody market right now. The price may go real low. I can't speculate, just saying. And as we have been told in other exchanges, those will be free. That's what happened to a lot of them. And they first fell down in value, but increased when it was. They increased afterwards, but it was because it was a bull market. And that's why the price increased. Everyone wanted to take part, didn't want to miss a chance. But right now, people are uncertain and selling off their coins. Everyone's panicking. So might not the value of NTS fell so low that it becomes really difficult or takes a long time to rise again. Won't it hurt most ICO backers? Absolutely. The moment we announced the news on the fee free, the feedback we got, I read it right away. And I wanted to jump in and start chatting with everyone right away, but I knew it would be 3 hours, I'll be disappeared. And I have too many things at the same time going on, too many priorities that really required our management level guys to be full focused on. So I didn't want to jump out of that. So, number one, totally agree. I'll tell you the logic. And to be honest, utilizing the NTS more in conjunction with the fee-free trading is something we discussed quite in depth as well, how to design it better. We came down to say, look, just make it free for everyone. Everyone's happy. Just get more users, more activity. My opinion, and a lot of our guys' opinion, was actually correct. Let's chuck in the NTS involvement into it more, which we already had a backup alternative. Based on the community feedback, I do agree and I do support it. I've already discussed with Andrew, which you guys have seen in the moderator chat quite often as well, to put out the pre-prepared release already from when we announced this. We already had the second option already planned of having transactions using NTS, so based on the same logic flow, to be near fee-free. The second option some of you guys have mentioned is holding a certain amount of NTS. I think it's too hard to quantify that, and I don't want to discriminate against people who held, 500 NTS or 10,000 NTS. And people say, well, I bought more, why can't I get this and that? And it get too complicated. Then we'll have to start having tiered things. There's so many things we can do, and we thought through so many options. And we're going to be rolling them out as we go and create more. Don't worry about that. It's all happening. We have plans, and as market changes, we keep adapting. We have a team of guys who's always researching and always discussing on things we can do. So, taking on everyone's opinions on board, not just the comment from no name, but everyone else. What we want to do is incorporate it so that when using the transaction fee with Nauticus coin, you will get something ridiculous like 99% discount or 99.9% discount, something that our system can put in and easy for us to manage in terms of accounting and our support team to handle as well. Think of all the scenarios, right? So that is what we'll turn to do based on all the feedback we're getting, and we totally agree with what you guys were saying, and it was things we thought about as well when we were designing this. So thank you for your feedback, and this is what we want. This is the constant ongoing of ideas sharing and improvements that we want to hear so that we can be as flexible and as versatile of a company as we can as we grow this dream together, grow this industry together with all the things we've achieved in the last 6 months, let's not forget how much we've been able to achieve, how many things we've done, how many people we've met, and how many user bases and countries we're now spread across now. Yeah, that's it. All right. So next thing, Michael Narty, how are you, my friend? Haven't heard from you for some time. We caught up in London when I visited. I said, let's have a chat with the community, and Michael was one of them. So regarding the auditing, yes, a lot of people have asked regarding our pitch deck where we talked about the auditing by a Big Four firm and why did we end up not having that go through. Some simple reasons here. What we found was that, number one, in this entire industry, no one has been able to engage one of the Big Fours, or has done it. It's not an industry practice. But number two also is that we found that the value they add or they bring is not very much, and it's very difficult as well, because we end up going through a whole process of teaching them what we're doing, teaching them how to do it, and essentially it becomes where we're just telling them what to do and they just sign off on it. So in the end, it was exactly the same as us going through all the things and having it checked, having it verified, confirming with the bounty program managers, the competitions, the surveys, and so on, making sure that everything is in place, and having it all verified multiple times before we announced it, to make sure that nothing went wrong. Because engaging someone outside that's not from the industry served to be a lot more difficult, and as well as not an industry practice as well. As a company, we do want to have constant audits going on in the future because it's just more corporate governance and it provides a lot more structure. And as we start generating revenue, we start putting our the profits we can spare into growing our company in a more structured, more corporate governance way, protecting our users, protecting our brand, protecting the services we provide. Now, regarding the token as well, we have been audited by AmbiSafe. But again, these things and the details of the breakdowns and what a lot of people are asking, please understand from our perspective why we don't release these things. There are a lot of aspects to it. So please kind of take a step back and think from a third person perspective. A lot of things, you gotta understand my position or our position, things we can't actually say. If we said it, it would make a lot more sense and everyone would be like, oh yeah, of course. But it's one of those things. And also don't forget, a lot of these information are extremely valuable. So valuable that you can't get anywhere else. People will try to suss it out from us, etc. And it's a competitive advantage too. So please do understand and respect that. I hope you guys, will be able to get it. And so that's why some of the stats or information or breakdowns we can't really announce. Later on, like I said, if we become something like, to a point where it doesn't matter if people know about it, it doesn't affect us because we can't be touched, to a point where we're like, Huobi or Binance or whatever, I think that'd be fine. Even Binance didn't release their users count until how many months? 4 months later or 6 months later? Yeah, 6 months later. 6 months later it was announced. Chris is sitting behind us, by the way. Let him say hi later. So even Binance didn't release their user count until 6 months later. Until now, they don't really announce it too, for example, right? So these are some things. It's not simply about the announcement. It's also about what will happen to us, and most importantly, to your benefit too. Because maintaining competitiveness, maintaining increasing in user base and demand, and maintaining a high use of our products and our tokens is very important for everybody. So another question from No Name. Goodness me, very popular, very popular. Just an idea I've had, seen this happen with other genuine projects. Admins should answer and tag tag the management team. Management should jump in daily, answer some questions, make them feel better. People believe more. A couple hours a day or half an hour a day. John and also others. Brian could come in as well. Increase backers. Yep, good confidence. Answer serious questions that can't be answered by admin. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's good, busy, but good. Well, yeah, I know you're busy, but it's good for the company. Yep, 100%. Totally agree with you. Andrew tries to answer as much as he can because that's kind of where he's at, and he's really across all the media public announcement information. I totally agree. And no name, I don't know how, maybe your name's changed or something, but for those of us who followed our project from day one, you would have seen where the first week or first month really, I was there every single day. The first 3 days I was there for the whole entire 20 hours basically. Just maintain quality, make sure that everyone has the right answers, and also to help build up our moderator team. The quality of our moderator team, credits to all of them and what they've done, but it was a process that we built up together, as a team to get to that level, right? Starting from, me giving all the answers or any little dribbles of small answers to complex answers, to the point where our moderator team can work on themselves as well, and with a lot of advice and mentorship from Brian too. So that's very important, and from an operational perspective, that's very important from my view as well. Now, jumping in more frequently, absolutely. 3 months ago, I was still jumping in at least once a day. It went from 20 hours a day to every 3 hours I would be there, to every 12 hours I would be chatting, to the point where it was once every day. And then towards 3 months ago, we started doing a lot of the traveling, a lot more complex things and meetings, and really wrapping up our focus into finishing up the fine details of the exchange and the user experience, and really testing some things out. So from there, I started talking less, because also what I found was when I do chat, answering a string of questions from the day would immediately attract everyone else's follow-up questions. So I said, Jonathan, how's your day? I say, good. And they'll say, what did you do? And I'll ask more, stuff like that. So it ends up becoming, 5 questions would turn into a 2-hour conversation, just like that. And leaving is quite bad, because if I don't finish a conversation, I don't really want to just jump out of there that much. I really enjoy engaging with everybody in the group. And that's why I tried my best to stay away. A lot of the feedback, sometimes I would see the chat, I would jump in, tell the moderators what my answer would be, or maybe this is what some official information flow back to you, and then he passes into the group, which has happened quite a few times, as you guys have experienced. So that's why. And now that I'm back in Melbourne, and Brian is as well, his flight's just a bit delayed, he's coming back soon, we will be jumping in a lot more frequently, and I'll get Brian to talk more as well in the chat. He's just a bit more camera shy compared to myself. So, yuan situation, quite a few people has been asking us. Look, this is very, I understand yuan has been going. I don't want to talk about it because I don't think it's professional for me, and I don't want to. I don't like to be anti-competitive. I don't like to talk. Whatever I say, there will be some consequences for, so I prefer not to talk about it, just to protect yuan as well. I think it's a professional and a respectful thing to do, and especially as you know, we're under discussion, etc. So it's a business thing. It's a negotiation thing regarding a partnership that you guys seen from our articles before. And so sometimes you might have been tired and maybe a bit stressed, and misunderstood what we were talking about halfway through the discussion. Brian wasn't even in conversation, etc. So we'll discuss it more and then have a proper announcement later on. Once we know what to do. Correct. So James said, oh my goodness, so many James. Yeah. So James then followed up saying that I called yuan, Mr. Day's situation. Correct. Blah blah blah. We're gonna have another chat later on because we're ongoing conversation. Correct. You're absolutely right. I don't know. I didn't even realize what's happening until the mods came to me going what's going on? There's this random guy called Yuan in there, creating a lot of random claims that there's no backing to it. And I said, well, who is this? I don't know who it would have been. I didn't realize it's the same guy. I said, just do what you guys need to do based on our policies, and that's it. So that's fine. I gave him a call afterwards. I said, what's going on, man? Okay, cool. We'll sort it out. Misunderstanding. So I'd rather just not talk about these things. Negativity is very, very frowned upon in a company. Rationalism is the most important thing. So James, also please be as rational as you can, and all of us together as well, rationally. So, two people asking the same question. In short, in the white paper, it clearly states that scale will be reduced. This ICO has always been about stage 1, which is the exchange. I wish people, I feel I've seen somewhere in the Telegram before where it seems to be as misunderstood. 68 is not to achieve everything that we have on our roadmap. It's clearly stated that the revenue generated is used to push forward all the projects we have intended and continue to grow this as an influence, as a brand, and as a leader and a role model in the industry so that others may follow, and for the causes that we want, including giving back to communities, including more contribution to leaderships, and also for environment as well. We really want to get involved in that. Through our traveling as well, we really found a lot of people with the same minds and same ambitions and same goals. And it's really opened our hearts even more as well to see how many people are like us, and it's really great to see. So that's kind of where it is. The ICO has always been meant for the exchange. You can see that breakdown on the website, or on the white paper actually, where it kind of breaks down the what percentage is going to be used for what, the allocation. So that's what it is. So it was always in the plan to scale it back. I think people are still saying, no, it has to be 100, it has to be 7. Understand as well, for your benefit, put some logic into this, that number one, even with the current market, right, in my mind, I'm even thinking about, or all of us actually are thinking about, is it smarter to delay the launch even later, with a lot of community members already addressing that too, just so that it's not a negative market with people stressing out, everyone's panic selling. It won't do good for us, and well, mainly for you guys who are holding the Nauticus coins, if you know what I mean. So I do agree. At the same time, I don't wish to keep delaying. It's a double-edged sword. I mean, if we keep delaying it, if the market stays at $6,000 for BTC for 2 months, 10 months, when is this going to end? And number two, also, I really want to make sure that we can provide something. So maybe we can do something. These are open to discussion. Please give us some feedback, what you guys think. We really want to hear our users, and for the benefit of the brand, for the benefit of the success of the exchange, and for the success of the token as well. Thinking from that level, not from a selfish level, from a selfless level. So, two double-edged swords is that, number one, if we were to just launch it with the market situation, obviously being ready. Ready is number one thing. We always have to be ready, fully tested, as perfect as we possibly can. We'll never be fully perfect because we're too much of perfectionists, but as ready as we possibly can. And from there, make sure that the users can be onboarded, etc. However, do we do it during a bear market? Number one, if we do that, yes, people are going to be negative and going to be panic selling, etc. But number two, if we keep delaying it, we don't want to mistreat everyone here as well. We don't want to be waiting for so long. It's not good for everyone who's participated. We want to let everyone enjoy the exchange that we put so much heart and soul into designing. You guys already seen what it looks like in the flow, and those who tested the exchanges all had such positive feedback. With only 2 to 5 minutes, you can get your KYC done just like that, and be able to support fiat currencies too. So that's number one, right? In terms of the delay, as well as a scale back. Back to the question of scale back, similar thing. Now, the logic here is this. Number one, people misunderstanding that if we have 100 cryptos, there's 100 we need to maintain, manage, and constantly monitor. And if we have, let's say, 10 coins, then we just have 10 we have to monitor, and all the users and all the activity will be focused on the 10. Why I say this? Because if Bitcoin drops like $1,000 or whatever it is, right? Less people are excited, less people are active, less people are trading, less people are even registering, and we only get 5,000 people KYC, 10,000 people KYC, but we have 100 coins, then these people will be spread across and the volume will be there. So everybody will be on each different coin, everyone's wanting to buy or sell, and no one will be able to interact with each other. Keeping it focused based on a variety of reasons holds a lot of value for all of us. So especially everyone who's asking questions, please do think of all avenues when you ask these questions before you ask it, so that sometimes you might find the answer in your own question. Next as well, fiat, the reason we're so unique is because fiat is such a difficult thing to do. Being compliant, fully transparent, fully registered gives us that value and benefit. The same reason of what I just addressed with the number of cryptos, fiat is also something that we are, you know, considering too, right? The whole scale. A lot of people, I saw some messages that people freaking out saying that there's only 5 coins. We've never said that. We've never even talked about how many coins. We're considering scaling exactly how many, we don't know. And it really depends on the KYC that happens as well. It really depends on the market situation, what happens as well. And so what I can say is this. I would want to at least launch with out of the 7, it will be scaled based on the popularity. So for example, our USD, Australian dollar are one of the 2 major backers currencies from like country bases. So we want to support them based on users because it's a good experience for them. So it'll be in those order, right? And then continue to grow until we hit the 7. Whether we start with 3, 4, or 5 fiat currencies is still being debated. I feel that we should be able to start with a few or something like that. But it really depends, right? It's completely dependent. And that's why when everyone asks questions, I mean, it's not something nothing can be definite, right? Nothing can be definite. Crypto's a very similar situation as well. I want to start with all the core, so that there will be transactions, there will be usage, and then word of mouth will spread. Back to the question of, can we do 2 a month? We can really do, but our plan is really to do 2 a week, so that 4 months, 5 months from now, we've hit the 100 mark. This is what we mean by scale. 1 to 2 a week, so that we can keep introducing, keep growing it, and then by the 5th month, we'll be at the level and we'll continue to grow to hit our 12-month target. So that's kind of where we are. In the place where I live, there is a Western Union point in every corner shop you can see from the bus stop. How on earth would people choose Nauticus as a better option? Look, Nauticus, we want to go into the direction of an exchange. That's number 1. We have goals and ambitions to be an exchange that supports everything you can think of, and then becoming a marketplace, becoming a place where people connect for peers, becoming a social place as well for people to interact. We're global payments, and much like Uber took out the taxi industry, Western Union is also a dinosaur, right? They're a traditional industry. It's different. If you still haven't understood the difference yet, then I don't know what you've been doing the last 6 months. You haven't read the white paper, you haven't been with us for a while, that's fine. I think there's a big difference there. The convenience, the speed, the low costs, and not to say we can be Western Union day 1, of course not. There's such a big deal everywhere, right? But also not every country has Western Union. Much like Uber can't get into China anymore, it's too late. Much like New Zealand doesn't have eBay in what they do, but the eBay equivalent in New Zealand is a completely different company or brand. Much like why Uber is not in China, because they went in and got kicked out by Didi, right? Didi is another equivalent of Uber in China. So that question is just very simple logic, industry logic. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Hope to have another chat like this in a couple of weeks' time to address the community again, and hope to do it more frequently and more updates as well. Thanks everyone. Cheers.